Hello everyone, I'm here to bring you an update on the channel, what's coming next, some changes I have planned, and what's been going on with me personally this past month. But first of all, I want to say thank you because at the time of recording, I am sitting at 900 subscribers, and to me that is a completely insane amount, far more than I ever thought I would achieve when I started this in May 2016. I've not had the easiest couple of years, as many of you well know, but it really does make me happy to know that I make content that entertains so many people. I've earned myself a brilliant community and I've made some wonderful friends over these past 2 years, and I want to make this channel grow even more. I know it may seem like a humble goal, but ultimately I want to hit 1,000 subs, and I really feel like that's possible for me now. I don't mean to sound cliche, but I really couldn't have done it without you all, so once again, thank you. If and when I do hit that 1,000 subscriber milestone, I plan on doing something to celebrate, possibly a Q&A video of some sort. A friend of mine suggested I could even do such a thing live, and if I ever figure out the arcane wizardry that is streaming, I would certainly be interested in doing like a live Q&A or something, and potentially more streams in the future. So if that's something you would all be interested in, please do let me know. As for where I've been this past month, well, I've started my third year of university, and almost immediately after starting, I got sick. Now, because I am a sensible human being who makes good life decisions, I just figured it was a cold and it would go away and that I didn't need to go to see my doctor, despite coming from a country where I could do that for free. So because of that, I ignored it, and then I got really bad chest pains and wound up in hospital last Monday. So that was fun. Turns out I had, and still have, a rather nasty chest infection. I'm mostly over it now, but it may be apparent in my voice that I am still slightly sick. I'm sorry it got in the way of new content, but as I say, I am mostly over said sickness and will be back to making new videos for you all pretty soon. As for updates relating to the channel itself, I've got quite a bit I want to get through today, but I do hope you all stick around to watch, as I have a few things that I think you all may find exciting. First, I wish to discuss my Patreon campaign and the recent changes and additions I have made to it. Over the past few weeks, I've been working on making my Patreon campaign better value for money for those kind enough to donate to it, and so I have made some changes to the existing tiers of the campaign, and I have added a new tier to it as well. To start, anyone who donates to the $1 per month tier, a donation to the archive, will gain access to patron-only posts and polls, which going forward I will use to help me determine what content I'm going to produce and when, allowing you to have a more involved role in the content I produce. Furthermore, at this level of donation, you will also gain access to script previews of upcoming videos. These will usually consist of the first 2 or 3 paragraphs of a video script and will be released on my Patreon page a few days before the release of the video they pertain to. Finally, all donors at this level will have their names included in the description box of every video I create going forward. Secondly, I have implemented a new tier, the Assistance at the Archive. For $3 a month, anyone who donates at this tier will gain access to all the benefits of the first tier, as well as access to a Google Drive folder containing my full scripts, which will be updated as soon as a new script is completed. Currently the folder does not, sadly, contain every script I have made, as I have lost some of my very early scripts, but I assure you that every script I complete going forward will be added to the folder. I was also thinking I could maybe include script notes, annotations and the like to the folder if that would be something people are interested in. As well as the script folder, anyone who donates at this level will have their name included in the credits at the end of the first video I produce after receiving their first pledge. And finally, I have added some new benefits to my $5 per month Agents of the Archive tier. Anybody donating at this level will gain all the benefits of the previous 2 tiers, though instead of their name appearing in the credits of the first video made after their donation, their names will instead appear in the credits of every video I make going forward for as long as they are a patron. In addition to this, patrons at this tier will also gain access to what will become a series of outtakes videos containing bloopers, cut content, editing mistakes and instances of me breaking character mid-record. I have already completed and released the first of these videos, however there may be some time between their releases as I want to make them worthwhile and ultimately funny, so they will be released when I have enough content for them, rather than me forcing outtakes to get them released sooner. As a final benefit, anybody who donates at this tier will also gain access to video previews of my upcoming content. These will consist of a 2 to 3 minute segment from whichever video I am currently working on, released on Patreon a few days before the video is finished, fully edited, and uploaded to YouTube. Once again, thank you to anyone who is currently or considering donating to the channel going forward. Your money goes towards making these videos better, more in-depth and more professional, and I appreciate whatever you can give. I don't mean to try and browbeat any of you into donating, however, it is of course optional and I appreciate all of your support either way. Seeing as my Neathlore and Faces of Fallen London videos are by far the most popular series I have on the channel, I feel it only appropriate that I discuss the new content in the works for them first before moving on to discuss the videos I'm making for Sunless Skies, Victorian Folklore and some other projects I am working on. So, I am currently working on the next Faces of Fallen London video. It is a story of family and blood, crime and corruption, law and order, betrayal and loyalty. It is the story of the last constable and the cheery man. I have recently been replaying this story in-game to make sure the script and video are as accurate as possible to the story as it is currently written. Following the completion of this video, I will begin research on my next major lore video installment. I am thinking of discussing the Elder Continent next, as I have already discussed other major geographical locations within the Neath, such as Hell, the Tomb Colonies, and the Carnate, and I feel the Elder Continent is a good way to round out that sort of quadrilogy, I suppose you could call it. I should also make it clear that I won't be discussing Seeking Mr. Eaton's name on the channel beyond references to Seekers and other such elements of that story when they are relevant to the current story I am telling. I am sorry if this disappoints some people, but not only do I feel it is a story that you really should experience for yourself rather than hear it through me, Fail Better Games have also kindly asked not to have it spoiled in fan creations. This is a request I am more than happy to oblige. I am willing to, and plan on discussing pretty much all of the other major plot threads in the game. I may even go into the ambition storylines at some point, though given the more personal nature of those stories, I would probably have to change the format a little for those videos. I'm not sure how I would do that yet, but obviously I will keep you all updated. Next, as a celebration of how far the channel has come over these past 2 years, I am going to rewrite and remaster my first video, a Neathly introduction, with my new editing software, microphone, and some of the marvellous artwork I have had made for me by this wonderful community over the past 2 years. Given that my first video is a lot shorter than my more recent efforts, it probably won't take me all that long to create this sort of remaster of my first video, as whilst I will be rewriting the script, I'm not going to be adding paragraph upon paragraph of new content to it, as I still want there to be a contrast between where I started and where I am now, but looking back, my original video is very amateurish at this point, and I just want to update it, I suppose. Furthermore, as Fallen London is constantly updated with new stories and lore to go with said stories, I was thinking that I could perhaps start a series of videos, something along the lines of addendums and additions, adding new lore snippets and the like to existing videos. If that would be something you would like to see, let me know. Seeing as my first Sunless Skies video got such a positive reception, I am likely going to keep the Sky Story format going forward for my Sunless Skies videos, namely dramatic readings and slight embellishments of in-game stories and storylines, rather than the in-character lore discussions I use for Fallen London and Sunless Sea. This not only diversifies the content on the channel, but it also helps to prevent me from burning out, which has been a problem I've been trying to find solutions for over my time on YouTube. As well as this, a free tabletop game for Sunless Skies has been released called Skyfarer, as I'm sure many of you know already. I want to include this game in my channel and my content, and so I'm going to be running a campaign once I've got the rules worked out, and turning said campaign into a series of videos. I already have one person on board and will be looking for a full group in the near future. I've wanted to do content relating to tabletop games on the channel since the start, and this seems like a perfect opportunity to do just that. I understand that this series isn't as popular as my Fallen London content, but I know it is still enjoyed by a sizable portion of my audience, and I really enjoy making them. As such, I am currently working on the script for the next video in the series, where I shall be moving away from the foggy streets and fetid sewers of London to the mysterious, fey-haunted climes of the Yorkshire Dales, to bring you the tale of the Barguest of Troller's Gill. I will be commissioning the artwork for this video when the script is complete. Beyond this particular tale, I am thinking of looking to the various ghost stories the Victorians were so in love with, as well as exploring the folklore of areas beyond London, be it more from my beloved Yorkshire, other areas of England, as well as Wales, Scotland and Ireland. However, these videos will likely be some ways off. Anne Bonny, Blackpart Roberts, Benjamin Hornigold, Mary Read and more, infamous names from an equally infamous period of history, the golden age of piracy, where thieves and ex-slaves held entire empires in their chokeholds. This has been a period of history that has always fascinated me, and the figures from that time period have gone down as legends, and it is these legends this series will explore. It is going to focus on these famous pirates, their exploits, and their legacies, and if the series is successful, I plan to expand it to include pirates from other eras and locations from around the world, from China to Rome to India. The first video in this series is going to be an introduction to the Golden Age, and an explanation as to why so many of these men and women turned to piracy in the Caribbean in the early 1700s. Following this, I will begin the series proper by discussing perhaps the most infamous pirate captain of them all, Edward Thatch, better known to history as Blackbeard. Before we end this video, I want to give thanks to and show off the work of the amazingly talented artists who have contributed to my work. They are all far more talented than I, and without them my videos would not be anywhere near as good as they are. So please enjoy their work and check them out. Links will be in the description. To finish this video, I have a few smaller updates that don't really fit in any of the other segments. So I'm going to be looking at various smaller videos I can do to fill the gaps between larger content releases, including more poetry readings and things of that nature. I have one poem that I definitely want to read, but I think I'm going to save it for the winter. I also want to read something creepy for Halloween, and I would love to hear some suggestions of short, chilling tales you think my voice would suit reading. Anyway, thank you all for watching. I apologise if this video was a touch dry, but I wanted to let you know what I'm working on, and that I've not just abandoned the channel and abandoned you all. I hope you all enjoy the content I have coming up, and I will see you all with the next video.